I believe ultra-processed foods are having an unfavourable effect on our health is because the act of processing foods breaks down the structure of the foods. Often ultra-processed foods have very little fibre in them, or the fibre is removed.
Elon Musk has exposed some eye-opening truths about the foods we eat every day, revealing hidden secrets that could make you rethink your choices before reaching for those familiar snacks and products. Beneath the shiny packaging and catchy advertisements lie shocking ingredients and disturbing production methods that most people would never imagine. From unexpected additives to disturbing production methods, these 15 popular products might make you reconsider what you put in your cart. The truth behind these products reveals what's really inside and why they might be worth avoiding once the facts come to light. The ingredients and processes behind these products might surprise you. 15. Gelatin-based candies and marshmallows. First up, we have a popular treat: gelatin-based candies and marshmallows. These chewy, squishy snacks are a favorite for many, but there's more to them than meets the eye. The key ingredient that gives them that unique texture is gelatin. And here's the catch. Gelatin is made from animal bones, skin, and connective tissues. It's derived from the collagen found in animals. And that means when you're munching on those gummy bears or marshmallows, you're actually eating parts of animals you might not have expected. But wait, here's where it gets interesting. Gelatin is what makes these candies so chewy and long-lasting. Without it, they wouldn't have that satisfying bounce. If you didn't know this, you're not alone. Most people have no idea what goes into their favorite treats. For vegetarians and vegans, this is a big deal, but don't worry, there are alternatives available. Plant-based gelatins made from ingredients like agar-agar, seaweed, or pectin from fruit are making their way into more products, giving you the same chewy texture without any animal-derived ingredients. Now that you know the secret behind your chewy treats, it raises the question, what else might be hiding in your everyday foods? Stick around. We've got more shocking facts coming up. 14. Processed cheese. Next on our list is something that many people love: processed cheese. It's the go-to option for burgers, sandwiches, and nachos. But there's more going on with it than you might think. While regular cheese is made from just milk, salt, and enzymes, processed cheese is a whole different story. It's often packed with emulsifiers, artificial colors, and preservatives to make it melt smoothly and last longer. These extra ingredients help give it that uniform texture and long shelf life, but they can also affect the flavor in ways you might not expect. Here's the twist. Many processed cheeses use things like sodium citrate or sodium phosphate, which help keep the cheese smooth and easy to melt. While these additives make the cheese perfect for fast food, they can also make the cheese taste more like plastic than actual cheese. But don't worry, if you're craving that rich, natural taste, real cheese made from simple ingredients is the way to go. Sure, it might not last as long on the shelf, but it's packed with more nutrients and flavor. So next time you reach for that slice of processed cheese, just think about what you're really getting and whether the extra ingredients are worth it. Get ready for more astonishing food facts that will uncover even more surprising truths. 13. Fast food burgers. Up next, we're talking about a fast food favorite, the classic burger. It's quick, tasty, and super convenient. But there's more to these burgers than just beef in a bun. The truth is that many fast food chains use some questionable ingredients to make their burgers cheaper and quicker to prepare. One of the biggest culprits is ammonia-treated meat. To make the meat cheaper, some fast food chains use low-grade cuts that are treated with ammonia to kill bacteria. It might sound safe, but it's not something you want in your food. And it doesn't stop there. Meat glue is another secret ingredient often used to stick different cuts of meat together, creating a uniform patty. While it's technically safe to eat, it's far from the fresh, natural beef you might expect in a burger. So the next time you grab that quick bite, remember, you're not just getting a simple beef patty. You might be eating ammonia-treated meat and meat glued together to make it all seem like one perfect burger. It's crazy how fast food burgers are made with so many shortcuts, isn't it? If you're thinking twice about your next burger, you're not alone. Stick around. We've got more food facts that might surprise you. 12. Artificial sweeteners. Next up, let's talk about something we often find in diet sodas, sugar-free gum, and even healthy snacks: artificial sweeteners. They're designed to give you the sweet taste without the sugar, but there's more to them than you might think. One of the most common sweeteners you'll find is aspartame, which is used in everything from soda to sugar-free yogurt. But here's the catch. Studies have shown that artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose might not be as safe as we thought. Some research links them to potential metabolic issues and even an increased risk of cancer when consumed in large amounts. But why do we keep using them? Well, they're super sweet, so a little goes a long way, and they help companies cut calories without sacrificing flavor. But the long-term effects are not so clear. If you're constantly reaching for that sugar-free soda or chewing sugar-free gum, you might want to think twice about what you're putting into your body. Your body might crave more sweets because artificial sweeteners can mess with your metabolism and gut health. So next time you reach for that zero-calorie drink or snack, artificial sweeteners might be more harmful than they seem. Stick around. We've got more shocking food secrets to share. 11. Instant coffee and decaf coffee. Coffee is a daily ritual for many of us, whether it's that quick cup of instant coffee or a nice, smooth decaf. But have you ever wondered what's actually in that cup? Instant coffee may seem like a quick, easy option, but it's made using a process that's a bit more complicated than just brewing beans. To make it, coffee beans are roasted, ground, and then brewed. The brewed coffee is then freeze-dried or spray-dried into the powder or crystals you see in the jar. Sounds simple, right? But the process strips away a lot of the coffee's natural flavor and nutrients, leaving you with a cup that's not as fresh or rich as regular coffee. Now, decaf coffee has its own set of concerns. To remove the caffeine, coffee beans are often treated with chemicals like methylene chloride or ethyl acetate. While they're meant to strip the caffeine, these chemical solvents can sometimes leave residues behind. The long-term effects of consuming these chemicals are still a bit unclear, but it's something to think about if you're drinking decaf regularly. So if you're looking for a fresher, cleaner cup, maybe try organic coffee or even cold brew. With organic coffee, you get a more natural, chemical-free process and a better taste too. Now that you know the secrets behind your daily cup, are you thinking about switching things up? Don't go anywhere. We have more incredible food facts heading your way. 10. Lipstick and red food coloring. When it comes to that pop of red in your favorite lipstick or the vibrant color in your food, there's a surprising ingredient you might not know about: carmine. This deep red pigment is used in everything from makeup to candies. And here's the kicker. It's made from crushed up beetles. Carmine comes from the cochineal beetle, which is harvested, dried, and then ground down to create the bright red color. While this might sound a bit off-putting, it's been used for centuries in food and cosmetics. But the real question is, should we be concerned? Some people have allergic reactions to carmine, which can lead to skin rashes or digestive issues. And then there's the ethical side. The process involves killing thousands of beetles to get the color, which raises concerns for many who choose cruelty-free products. So what are the alternatives? Nowadays, many brands are switching to plant-based coloring like beet juice or even red cabbage for a more natural, animal-free option. If you're looking to avoid carmine, it's a good idea to check labels, especially in food products like yogurt, candy, and even cosmetics. Now that the mystery behind that vibrant red hue is uncovered, are you reconsidering what's in your products? Keep watching for more jaw-dropping food revelations. 9. Whitening toothpaste. When you grab your whitening toothpaste, you probably think you're just brightening your smile, but there's more to it than meets the eye. A lot of whitening toothpaste contain microplastics, tiny particles that help scrub your teeth clean and remove stains. These microplastics, often made from polyethylene, can give your toothpaste that gritty texture. But here's the kicker. Microplastics are linked to health risks, and they're not just in your toothpaste. They can end up in your mouth, and some even get washed down the drain, entering our water systems. These little plastic particles don't break down easily, and they can accumulate in the environment and in your body. While we might not see immediate effects, some studies suggest that microplastics could lead to inflammation or even disrupt hormones over time. And it doesn't stop there. Microplastics have also been found in processed foods, especially in things like salt or food packaging, which means you might be consuming them without even knowing it. So next time you're choosing a whitening toothpaste, maybe think twice about those plastic particles. There are natural alternatives out there, like toothpaste made with charcoal or baking soda. that can give you a clean, bright smile without the potential risks. Get ready for more shocking food and health facts that will surprise you. 8. Chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets are a beloved snack or fast food option for many, but there's more going on behind that golden, crispy exterior than you might expect. While you might think they're made from whole, juicy chicken breast, the reality is quite different. Most chicken nuggets are made using a process called mechanically separated meat, MSM, which involves forcing chicken through machines that break down the bones and meat into a slurry-like paste. This paste contains not just muscle meat, but also parts of the chicken that you wouldn't typically see in a traditional nugget, such as bones and cartilage. The result is a finely processed mixture that's shaped into the familiar nugget form and coated in breadcrumbs. But the process doesn't end there. To keep these nuggets fresh, crispy, and shelf-stable, manufacturers often add preservatives and artificial flavor enhancers. These additives help the nuggets maintain their texture and flavor after being frozen and reheated. One such ingredient commonly found in chicken nuggets is sodium phosphate, which is used to retain moisture and improve the texture. Additionally, monosodium glutamate, MMSG, is often added to boost the savory, umami flavor that makes nuggets so irresistible. While MSG enhances taste, it can cause some people to experience bloating, headaches, or allergic reactions. Beyond the flavor and texture-enhancing additives, chicken nuggets often contain a range of chemicals and artificial ingredients that help preserve their color, flavor, and appearance. These ingredients help nuggets stay crispy even after being deep-fried, frozen, and reheated. Next time you bite into a chicken nugget, it's good to know what you're really eating. While they might taste good, they don't always come from the high-quality chicken you expect. If you're looking for a cleaner option, consider making your own at home using real chicken and healthier ingredients. Now, the next on our list is something everyone loves, but the truths hidden behind it will leave you shocked. Keep watching to find out. 7. Ice cream. Who doesn't love a scoop of ice cream on a hot day? But before you dig in, you might want to know what's really in that creamy treat. Most commercial ice creams contain a surprising ingredient, propylene glycol, a chemical used in antifreeze. This food-grade version helps keep the ice cream scoopable even after it's been frozen for a while. It keeps the texture smooth, but it's not something you'd normally expect to find in your dessert. In addition to propylene glycol, which helps keep ice cream scoopable, many commercial ice creams contain stabilizers, emulsifiers, and artificial flavorings. These ingredients are added to maintain the smooth, creamy texture and prevent ice crystals from forming. While they help preserve the ice cream's consistency and extend its shelf life, they can also affect the overall quality. The use of these additives means that ice cream may lack the rich, natural flavor of homemade versions. If you're seeking a purer treat, artisanal ice creams that use fresh, natural ingredients offer a more authentic and flavorful experience. But don't worry, if you're craving a purer treat, there are artisanal ice creams that skip these additives altogether. These ice creams often use fresh, natural ingredients and have a more authentic, rich flavor. No weird chemicals, just real cream, sugar, and flavoring straight from nature. So next time you grab that store-bought pint, think about what's really inside. If you're up for a better option, consider trying small batch ice cream that focuses on quality. 6. Canned mushrooms. What if I told you your canned mushrooms might have tiny maggots in them? Sounds nasty, but it's true. Food safety laws actually allow a small number of insect larvae and maggots in canned mushrooms. Since mushrooms grow in dark, damp places, they attract bugs. When harvested in bulk, it's almost impossible to remove every tiny insect. So during processing, some of them end up in your can, legally. The FDA even has a set limit for how many bug bits are acceptable per can. To make them last longer and look more appealing, manufacturers also add preservatives and sometimes even bleaching agents to keep that smooth white appearance. After processing, the mushrooms are canned, sealed, and shipped. Bugs and all, if the thought of hidden insect surprises makes you cringe, fresh mushrooms might be the way to go. Washing and cooking them yourself means you know exactly what you're eating. Because once you know what's inside that can, you might never look at mushrooms the same way again. 5. Packaged bread. Ever wondered what's in your packaged bread? It might surprise you to learn that some brands use an ingredient called L-cysteine, an amino acid that can come from human or animal hair. Yikes, right? L-cysteine is added to improve the dough's texture and make it easier to handle. It's more commonly found in mass-produced, store-bought bread. When you buy fresh bread from a local bakery, you'll notice fewer additives and preservatives. Bakery bread is typically made with just flour, water, yeast, and salt. Simple and natural. On the other hand, packaged bread has to last longer on the shelf, which means extra ingredients to preserve its freshness. That's why L-cysteine and other chemicals are often used to keep it soft and shelf-stable for days or even weeks. While these additives might make the bread more convenient, fresh homemade bread is a much cleaner option if you're concerned about what's in your food. So next time you're at the store, think about what goes into that loaf and consider supporting your local bakery. 4. Orange juice. Think your glass of orange juice is just fresh and healthy? Think again. Most orange juice made from concentrate has hidden chemicals and added sugars that might surprise you. The juice starts with oranges that are processed into a concentrate. This concentrate is then rehydrated with water. But during this process, flavor packs are often added to make the juice taste fresh again. These flavor packs contain artificial chemicals that mimic the taste of freshly squeezed oranges. But that's not all. Some brands also add extra sugars to sweeten the juice, making it taste even better, at least on the surface. This is different from fresh squeezed juice, which has no added sugars and doesn't require chemical flavoring. Fresh juice is made by simply squeezing the oranges and drinking the juice, keeping it natural and packed with nutrients. So next time you reach for a carton of orange juice, check the label carefully. If it says from concentrate, you might want to think twice about how fresh and pure it really is. Fresh squeezed juice is always a better option if you want the full flavor and health benefits of real oranges. 3. Vanilla and strawberry flavored foods. Ever wondered what makes your vanilla and strawberry flavored foods taste so sweet and natural? The answer might surprise you. It's not always real fruit or vanilla. Some manufacturers use an ingredient called castrium, which is a flavoring derived from beavers. Yes, you heard that right, beavers. Castrium is extracted from the glands near a beaver's tail and is used to create that familiar vanilla or strawberry taste in many processed foods. While it might sound odd, castoreum has been used for centuries in perfumes and food products. But here's the catch: it raises both ethical concerns and health risks. The process of collecting castoreum involves trapping and handling beavers, which many people find controversial. Plus, since castoreum is a natural product, it's not always disclosed on food labels, making it difficult for consumers to know exactly what they're eating. So if you're looking for the purest option, it's always best to check the label and look for foods flavored with real vanilla or strawberry extract. Natural flavoring is a much better choice if you want to avoid animal-derived ingredients and the possible health risks that come with them. Next time you're snacking, it might be worth thinking about what's really in that flavor. 2. Fast food French fries. Ever wondered how fast food French fries stay so crispy and golden? It's not just the frying process. Many fast food fries are treated with dextrose and preservatives to keep them looking perfect and fresh for longer. Dextrose, a form of sugar, helps maintain that beautiful golden color, while preservatives are used to prevent browning and extend shelf life. These additives might make the fries look appealing, but they also add unnecessary sugar and chemicals to your meal. The texture is another story. Fries often undergo a process called flash freezing to keep them crunchy. This involves treating them with chemicals that lock in moisture and prevent them from getting soggy during cooking. But while these techniques help preserve the fries, they also mean you're eating more processed food than you might think. If you're looking for a healthier option, homemade baked fries are a great alternative. You can control the ingredients, skip the added sugars and preservatives, and still enjoy crispy, golden fries without the guilt. Just slice your potatoes, toss them in olive oil, season to taste, and bake them until they're crispy, fresh, simple, and much better for you. Gummy vitamins and supplements. Think your gummy vitamins are a healthy treat? Many gummy vitamins contain gelatin, which is often derived from animal bones and skin. That chewy texture comes from gelatin's ability to thicken and hold things together, but for those who avoid animal products, this can be a deal breaker. But that's not all. Artificial dyes are commonly used to give gummy vitamins their bright, appealing colors. These dyes, like Red 40 or Yellow 5, are synthetic chemicals that may raise concerns for some health-conscious consumers. There are also added sugars to make them taste sweeter, which can contribute to unnecessary calorie intake. If you're looking for a more natural alternative, plant-based gummy vitamins are a great choice. These use agar-agar, a seaweed-derived gelatin substitute, and natural fruit juices for coloring. They provide the same benefits without the animal products or synthetic chemicals. So next time you grab a bottle of gummy vitamins, check the label. Opting for plant-based, natural versions not only ensures you're avoiding animal-derived ingredients, but also gives you a cleaner, healthier supplement option. While many companies hide the true nature of their products, often prioritizing profits over transparency. By using hidden ingredients, additives, and questionable production processes, they manage to mislead consumers while ensuring longer shelf life and more appealing products. This is done to keep costs low and maximize sales, sometimes at the expense of health and trust. While these practices might not always lead to immediate harm, they raise important concerns about the long-term effects of consuming such products. As awareness grows, consumers need to make informed choices and demand more transparency from the brands they support. The seafood industry's hidden cost. At number 1 in the list, we have seafood. It seems like one of the healthiest things you can eat, right? Fresh fish, full of nutrients, straight from the ocean to your plate. But the way it's caught, handled, and sold is enough to make anyone think twice. Industrial fishing operations don't just pull in fish. They drag up everything in their path: dolphins, turtles, even endangered species. These unwanted catches, or bycatch, are often tossed back into the ocean dead, wrecking marine ecosystems. And that's just the start. Before we delve into this, it's clear that the seafood industry is hiding something far more disturbing than mislabeled fish. And this won't be the only truth that will leave you speechless. Once the fish is caught, it's transported in conditions you'd expect from a horror movie. Packed into unsanitary containers, stacked on top of each other, often sitting in pools of bacteria-laden water. You probably assume that seafood at the store is fresh, but it could have been frozen and thawed multiple times before reaching your plate. Some seafood is even chemically treated to look fresher than it actually is. If you're eating fish, you might want to start questioning where it actually comes from. Let's check out number 2 now. Margarine has been sold as a healthier alternative to butter for years. But what if you knew it was basically a lab experiment disguised as food? Made from heavily processed vegetable oils, margarine is subjected to extreme heat, chemical solvents, and hydrogenation to give it that butter-like texture. The result? A product full of trans fats, artificial colors, and preservatives linked to heart disease and inflammation. Manufacturers also bleach and deodorize margarine to hide the chemical taste and smell. And let's not forget the oils themselves. Most come from genetically modified crops sprayed with pesticides like glyphosate, which has been linked to various health issues. You're better off sticking to real butter or just skipping spreads altogether. If you thought your expensive coffee was a luxury, think again about this number 3 on the list. Kopi Luwak, one of the world's most exclusive coffee varieties, comes from beans that have been eaten and excreted by civet cats. Sounds fancy, right? Well, the reality is far from glamorous. Originally, wild civets would select only the best coffee cherries, leading to a unique fermentation process in their digestive systems. But demand has turned this into an industry of cruelty. Most civet coffee now comes from animals locked in tiny cages, force-fed coffee cherries until they suffer from malnutrition and stress. The worst part? Studies show that over 80% of so-called civet coffee on the market is completely fake, just regular beans sold at sky-high prices. If you want a great cup of coffee, find an ethical brand that doesn't rely on animal cruelty or deceptive marketing. Number 4 is everywhere. Bacon, sausages, hot dogs, processed meats are everywhere. But if you knew what really went into them, you'd probably lose your appetite. These meats are often made from the lowest quality scraps, ground up and mixed with preservatives, artificial flavors, and massive amounts of salt to keep them edible for longer. Nitrates and nitrites, commonly found in processed meats, have been linked to cancer. Some studies suggest they can form carcinogenic compounds when cooked at high temperatures. Not to mention the ammonia washes and other chemical treatments used to keep the meat looking fresh. If you love meat, go for fresh, high-quality cuts instead of factory-produced meat. Let's meet number 5 now. Trying to dodge sugar? You might think grabbing a diet soda or a sugar-free snack is the smart move. But those artificial sweeteners hiding in your healthier choices? They're messing with your body in ways you don't even realize. Aspartame, sucralose, and their sneaky cousins don't just sit quietly in your system. They tinker with your metabolism, gut bacteria, and even how your brain works. And here's the kicker. Some studies show they make you crave more food, stack on weight, and might have long-term effects doctors are still figuring out. Artificial sweeteners trick your taste buds into thinking they are getting sugar, but your body knows better. The moment these fake sugars hit your system, your body prepares for a glucose rush that never arrives. This process confuses your metabolism, making it harder to process real sugars when you do consume them. Some studies suggest that regular consumption of artificial sweeteners could lead to insulin resistance, a key factor in conditions like type 2 diabetes. Even worse, these sweeteners have been linked to headaches, digestive issues, and even cognitive problems in some cases. But the worst part? These fake sugars are everywhere. Protein bars, flavored yogurts, meal replacement shakes. Anything promising zero sugar might just be swapping one problem for another. And don't let labels fool you. Just because it doesn't say sugar doesn't mean it's good for you. Many diet sodas contain artificial sweeteners that are hundreds of times sweeter than natural sugar, tricking your brain into craving even more sweets. If you're looking for something sweet without the side effects, natural options like honey or real stevia, not the processed kind, are the way to go. If you think seafood is bad, just wait until you see what's hiding in everyday foods like bread. The juice that isn't really fresh. At number 6, we have one you wouldn't think about. Bread should be simple, right? A little flour, some water, yeast, maybe a pinch of salt. But factory-made bread? That's a whole different beast. Mass-produced loaves are pumped full of preservatives, chemical dough softeners, and additives designed to stretch shelf life. And here's something to chew on. Some even contain ingredients made from human hair and duck feathers. Sounds like science fiction, but it's real. These dough conditioners help make bread fluffier and last longer. The additives don't stop there. Many commercial breads contain bleaching agents used to make white flour look more appealing. Some of these chemicals have been banned in other countries due to potential health risks, but they are still widely used in the food industry. Bromated flour, for example, is a common ingredient in many store-bought breads and has been linked to kidney damage and even cancer. Yet it continues to be used because it makes dough rise faster and gives bread a soft, airy texture. And don't even start with fast food buns. Those are loaded with stabilizers and chemicals to keep them looking fresh for weeks. And if you think grabbing a whole grain loaf saves you, think again. Many so-called healthy breads have just a sprinkle of whole wheat mixed in with ultra-processed white flour and sugar. Labels can be misleading, using terms like multigrain to suggest a healthier choice when, in reality, these breads still contain mostly refined flour and added sugars. Want real bread? Find a bakery that makes it fresh, or better yet, try baking your own. Number 7 will blow your mind. That freshly squeezed orange juice you pour every morning? It might have been sitting in a tank for months, maybe even a year. Juice companies remove the oxygen to keep it from going bad, but that process also strips away all the natural flavors. To fix that, they dump in flavor packs, engineered to make the juice taste fresh. These packs are so processed they don't even have to be listed as ingredients. So what are you really drinking? Something far from fresh. Most commercial orange juices are also pasteurized, meaning they are heated to eliminate bacteria and extend shelf life. While this may seem like a good thing, it also destroys many of the vitamins and antioxidants that make oranges healthy in the first place. The end result is a product that may taste like oranges, but has far fewer nutrients than the fresh fruit itself. And let's talk about the sugar. Some orange juices have as much sugar as soda, turning your so-called healthy breakfast into a sugar bomb. Many juices marketed as natural or not from concentrate still have added sugars or rely on high-sugar fruit blends to enhance flavor. Drinking a glass of orange juice can spike your blood sugar levels just as much as eating a candy bar. If you really want the benefits of oranges, skip the carton and eat the fruit itself. Or if you must have juice, squeeze it yourself. It's messy, but at least you'll know it's real. At number 8, we have canned food. It might seem like a lifesaver, easy, cheap, and long-lasting. But those cans are lined with BPA, a chemical linked to hormone disruption, reproductive issues, and even cancer. And before you grab a BPA-free can, thinking you're in the clear, know this. The replacements they use aren't necessarily any safer. BPA, or bisphenol A, is widely used in the lining of canned goods to prevent corrosion and extend shelf life. However, studies have shown that BPA can seep into food, especially acidic foods like tomatoes and beans. Once inside your body, BPA acts as an endocrine disruptor, mimicking hormones and potentially leading to a host of health issues, including infertility, obesity, and an increased risk of some cancers. And let's not forget what's inside. Canned vegetables, beans, soups. Many are swimming in preservatives, artificial flavors, and more salt than you'd ever put in a home-cooked meal. Some canned soups contain sodium levels that exceed daily recommended limits in just one serving. The longer the shelf life, the more chemicals keeping it from going bad. And while some manufacturers have reduced sodium in recent years, many still rely on high levels of preservatives to maintain texture and taste. If you can, go fresh or frozen. It's just as easy, tastes better, and won't come with a side of questionable chemicals. Frozen vegetables in particular are often a better choice than canned because they are picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen, preserving most of their nutrients without the need for additives. You might trust your favorite drinks and canned food, but once you know what's really inside, you won't look at them the same way again. The burger you should be afraid of. At number 9, we have burgers. They might look like the perfect comfort food, but let's be real. There's a lot going on inside that bun that you don't want in your body. These fast food giants load their burgers with more than just beef. They're packed with calories, sodium, and cholesterol, all of which can do some serious damage to your health. One single burger can have over 1,000 calories, and when you add fries and a soda, you've basically wiped out your entire daily limit in just one sitting. That's not even the worst part. These patties aren't just from one cow, they're a mix of meat from different cows, sometimes even from different countries, increasing the risk of contamination. And if you think that's unsettling, just wait until you hear what else might be lurking inside. Let's talk about the infamous pink slime. Yes, ammonia-treated filler in your burger. This processed meat product is added to stretch out the beef, making it cheaper for fast food companies, but far worse for you. Imagine eating something that had to be treated with ammonia just to eliminate bacteria. That's what you're chewing on with every bite of that juicy-looking patty. And let's not forget the frequent beef recalls due to E. coli outbreaks, which are alarmingly common. The more you look into it, the less appetizing that burger becomes. Now let's switch gears to our number 10 on the list. Something that seems innocent, vanilla. You might love that smooth, sweet flavor in your favorite ice cream, cookies, and even coffee. But what if I told you that artificial vanilla is made from something that would make you gag? One of the most surprising sources of artificial vanilla is castoreum, a secretion from the anal glands of beavers. That's right, you could be enjoying beaver butt juice in your vanilla-flavored treats. While it's rarely used today because it's expensive, just knowing this should make you think twice about that store-bought vanilla extract. But that's not the only disturbing part. Most artificial vanilla comes from lignin, a byproduct of wood pulp, or guaiacol, which is derived from clove oil. Either way, it's not the natural, wholesome vanilla you imagine when you take a bite of that sweet dessert. And speaking of processed nightmares, let's talk about ketchup, the number 11 on the list. That thick red sauce might seem harmless, but it's hiding a ton of sugar, preservatives, and high fructose corn syrup. It's basically liquid candy disguised as a condiment. Just a few tablespoons of ketchup can push you past your daily sugar limit, leading to weight gain, diabetes, and heart problems over time. Plus, the high acidity of ketchup can wreak havoc on your stomach, causing acid reflux and heartburn. And let's not even start on the preservatives and sodium, which contribute to inflammation, joint pain, and kidney stones. If you're someone who drowns everything in ketchup, it might be time to rethink that habit. Now let's dive into our number 12, something truly stomach-churning: red food dye. That bright red color in your candies, yogurts, and even some drinks? It's probably made from crushed bugs. Cochineal insects, found mostly in Peru and the Canary Islands, are dried, crushed, and turned into dye labeled as carmine, cochineal extract, or natural red 4. And get this, it takes about 70,000 bugs to make just 1 pound of this dye. That means every time you eat something with bright red coloring, you could be swallowing bits of crushed insects. If you're vegan, vegetarian, or follow a kosher diet, this is definitely something to watch out for. And if you thought bugs were bad, the alternatives might be even worse. Synthetic red dyes like red number 40 are made from coal or petroleum byproducts. Yes, you read that right, coal and petroleum. These dyes have been linked to hyperactivity in kids and even potential cancer risks. So whether it's crushed bugs or synthetic chemicals, that red food dye is bad news no matter how you look at it. Fast food may be quick and tasty, but when you learn what's really in those burgers, vanilla flavors, and sauces, you might lose your appetite. The dark side of the shrimp industry. Let's check out number 13. Canned mushrooms might be hiding more than just mushrooms. You ever crack open a can, toss those slimy little pieces into a pan, and think, yeah, this is fine? Well, maybe it's time to rethink that. The FDA, in all its wisdom, has decided that a little extra protein in your canned goods is totally acceptable. By protein, I mean maggots and mites, because apparently getting rid of all the creepy crawlies is just too expensive. Here's the rundown. Per 600 grams of canned mushrooms, you're allowed up to 20 maggots, and about 5 of those can be less than half an inch long. Oh, and don't forget the mites, 75 of them per 100 grams. That's right, your next spaghetti sauce might come with some unexpected guests. Sure, they're technically safe to eat in small amounts, and maggots are even eaten on purpose in some parts of the world. But let's be honest, does knowing that make it any better? Even if these little critters don't make you sick, the idea of chewing on larvae is enough to put anyone off their meal. So what's the move? Skip the canned section and grab fresh mushrooms. It takes a little extra effort to wash and chop them yourself, but at least you won't be wondering if you're biting into a mushroom or something with legs. And while we're talking about food nightmares, let's get into the number 14 of our list. Bread. Everyone's favorite sandwich base, the thing we toast, spread with butter, or use for burgers. Seems harmless, right? Wrong. If you check the ingredients on your store-bought loaf, you might find something called L-cysteine. Sounds fancy, but let's break it down. This common dough conditioner makes bread softer and helps speed up production. The problem? One of the cheapest sources of L-cysteine is human hair. And where does that hair come from? Salons and barbershops, mostly in China. Yep, someone got a haircut, and now part of it might be in your bread. Now, to be fair, it's not just human hair. This ingredient can also be sourced from duck feathers. But let's be real, that's not much better. Regulatory agencies say it's fine, but just because something is technically safe doesn't mean you want it in your body. If the thought of chewing on something processed with barbershop sweepings doesn't sit well with you, you've got options. Support local bakeries that skip the weird additives. Or better yet, bake your own bread. It's easier than you think, and you get full control over what goes into it. Now, for our number 15, let's talk shrimp. The little pink seafood that people toss into pasta, tacos, and sushi rolls without a second thought. If you think you're making a good choice by eating farmed shrimp instead of wild-caught, you might want to sit down for this. Shrimp farming has its own set of nightmares, starting with the fact that it's destroying entire ecosystems. Ever heard of mangrove forests? These vital wetlands are being bulldozed at an alarming rate to make room for shrimp ponds. That means less natural carbon storage, more environmental damage, and habitats being wiped out. And the problems don't stop there. Shrimp farms are pumping chemicals, hormones, and waste directly into local waters, polluting everything around them. Oh, and did we mention human rights abuses? Some of these farms have been caught using forced labor and human trafficking to keep production costs low. That shrimp cocktail isn't looking so tasty anymore, is it? Even wild-caught shrimp has its downsides. The trolling methods used to catch them don't just bring in shrimp. They destroy the ocean floor and eliminate countless unintended species in the process. The result? More waste, more destruction, and even more reason to rethink what's on your plate. So what's a shrimp lover supposed to do? If you can't give it up, look for sustainably sourced shrimp from trusted suppliers. But if you're open to alternatives, plant-based shrimp options are getting better every year. Made from ingredients like konjac root, they mimic the texture and taste without all the environmental and ethical baggage. At the end of the day, food should be something you enjoy, not something that makes you second-guess every bite. But the reality is, a lot of what we eat comes with hidden horrors. thanks to cost-cutting measures and loose regulations. If you want to avoid maggot-laced mushrooms, hair-infused bread, and shrimp tied to environmental destruction, start paying closer attention to where your food comes from. The truth might not be pretty, but at least you'll know what you're really eating. Have we been blindly trusting products that are filled with shocking and harmful ingredients? Or is there a bigger agenda behind what companies choose to hide from us? Are these products truly safe, or have we been deceived all along? Tell us what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.